Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you like content, hit the subscribe button, leave a like down below. In today's video, I want to talk about some things that wrestling games could learn from Street Fighter 6. With Street Fighter 6 review embargo up and getting amazing reviews, it had me thinking, like, I wonder how wrestling games could learn from this. Because clearly there's something there that people like. So, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the World Tour mode. Like, all the old fans, all the super hyper competitive guys have their online, they have their arcade mode. Good for them. But for us other people that aren't the super hardcore crowd and want to go compete in tournaments and stuff like that and just want to play for fun and enjoy the characters and universe, here comes universe mode, or World Tour mode. Thinking of wrestling. Now, what's funny is that they're not the first game to do this style of open world exploration where you go and challenge somebody and then activate a fight. The first game to do this was Naruto. I forget which one it was, but it was one of the first Naruto games on the 360. So what would happen is it had this big, nice open exploration area you could go around. You would go and explore the town and talk to people, activate missions, do side quests, find collectibles, and all that stuff. And then you would unlock abilities to explore more, kind of like in most RPGs or any Metroid game. And when you want to go into a fight, kind of like an RPG, it would do this transition to where you go into this fight, right? But instead of a turn-based RPG, it was just a fighting arena, right? Like a fighting game. All of a sudden you're fighting. I'm like, oh, what a cool idea. And I couldn't understand why fighting games like Street Fighter, like Mortal Kombat, like any wrestling game, didn't capitalize on this idea. This is a golden idea. And I can't remember what company made that. I don't think it was CyberConnect. I'll have to go look it up. But you can sound off in the comments below too, because it was a long time ago when I played that, and I thoroughly enjoyed that game. Anyway, what's cool though is now that Street Fighter is doing it, it's going to get a lot more mainstream. And I think it'd be really cool if any wrestling game that's coming out down the pipeline, 2K24, 25, Ultra Pro, Wrestling Code, Ultra Violence Pro Wrestling, or whatever, they should take this idea and run with it, right? I know Wrestling Empire has done something like this similar. If you haven't heard of it, it's on Steam, it's on Switch. Go check it out. The game is amazing. What they've done in both that and Street Fighter is they have this little open world area. Street Fighter does it way more because the budget's a lot bigger, and Wrestling Empire is one guy making it. But they have a dynamic area where you can go and talk to other people, wrestlers, in-game NPCs, start fights, start missions, find collectibles, unlock other characters, unlock moves. I feel like this would work perfectly in a wrestling game. Now, what am I talking about here? So, if you've played the Street Fighter 6 demo, or if you played it by the time this video comes out, the game might be out, Street Fighter 6. We will be streaming it on the channel, or at least making videos on it. What I'm talking about is, if you've played the mode, you played the demo, you can go out, you can challenge random NPCs to a fight, and it goes into that battle sequence mode. How cool would it be if a wrestling game did that? It doesn't have to be some huge, giant town. It could just be an arena, or a building, or something, like the WWE headquarters. And you're trying to get to Vince, right, to go talk to him about something. And he keeps sending his goons after you, and you have to go and wrestle them. Instead of a fighting game, it's a wrestling game, right? And you start throwing them through furniture and whatnot. And then if they did do the big city dynamic, they could hide collectibles. So let's say a collectible is like some notepads, right? It's like random notes you find that have wrestling moves on it. So it's like, let's say Vince or Bret Hart or somebody wrote down some wrestling moves. Oh, this would be a cool move. And they're just all over the place, and you find them, and that's how you unlock certain moves, right? And then they could do the same thing with the wrestlers. How cool would it be if, let's say, to unlock Bret Hart, you had to go to his heart dungeon, which is where they all train in Canada. They could just throw it in the game as a thing to be cool. And you have to go in there and fight Bret Hart. You probably have to wrestle other people to get to Bret Hart. And once you get to him and beat him, he's kind of like the dojo master. He becomes your ally, and you unlock him as a playable character, all his moves, all his gear, and all that kind of stuff. How cool would that be? And he could be your tag partner if they add a tag team dynamic in it. I mean, they can make it to where you could place your created characters within the universe if you wanted to do it that way. Holy crap, this idea is awesome. I hope somebody does it. Basically, I guess I just want a wrestling RPG, but with the wrestling still in it. That's all I really want. And the technology is good enough to do it now. Problem is, to get that to work would probably be a nightmare. Because there's so many things they put in these wrestling games. I don't know how 2K would do it. I think if 2K did it, it'd have to be a separate game. They'd have to have their mainline franchise and then have that separate, right? And I think when Stephanie did their earnings call, she was talking about somebody making an RPG wrestling game. Hopefully it's not a stupid phone game. What if that's what they're doing? That would be so cool. But who would be making it, though? See, this is why it sucks that 2K owns the wrestling video game IP. It'd be really cool if WWE was smart enough, had the foresight to sub-license the WWE gaming license to multiple developers, right? How cool would it be if, I don't know, some other company wanted to make a wrestling game based off of the WWE universe and make it more arcadey. So we could get an All-Stars. We could get the game I'm talking about with a cool, huge RPG element thing. And then we could get our simulation game, because everybody loves their simulation games. I'm bored to tears of the simulation aspect, but I love the creation options that they have in those games. So anyway, what am I getting at here? I'm kind of rambling. The whole point of this whole thing is what they could learn from Street Fighter 6 is that World Tour mode. That is the focus. Not the combat and systems, triggers, V-triggers, whatever the heck it's called. I'm purely talking about the World Tour mode. A big open space where you unlock abilities and it allows you to explore the world more, do missions. Like, let's say Bret Hart wants you to go do 1,000 submissions. Maybe not that outrageous, but you know, like he wants you to go do his signature move to 10 opponents. And if you do that, you unlock the move to use in other modes, right? So the sharpshooter, stuff like that. They could really make it fun and engaging that way. So we're not just stuck in menus, endless menus, like in 2K22 and 2K23 in their My Rise mode. Every other mode's fine. I mean, even Universe mode could be some of a open world thing, right? Anyway, all I'm asking for is more interactivity. It's 2023, and I feel like we're playing the same game we've been playing for the last 20 years, just with prettier graphics. What say you? Sound off in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and stay frosty.